Welcome back to my channel. We are here with Hercule Poirot, the London case. Let's go. Now, if I remember correctly, it says talk to suspects. Wait a minute, we got something going on here? Hold on. No, we completed that one, never mind. What's going on here? We're still missing what's its face. I could have swore there was like a door over here, but guess not. Wait, let's just kind of touch base.
I hope you're getting something out of wasting my time.
I am, actually. Pleasure.
Merci, Your Grace.
Okay, so let's...
What can I do for you?
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now. What do you need? What can I do for you? Merci, monsieur.
Oh. 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 Aha.
Well, you never know. Either one of those could have worked just fine. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm missing.
Ah. Huh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Huh.
Okay. We're making some headway. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Ha! A ring?
Aha.
No, I wasn't trying to... God damn it. Huh. Okay, so let's talk to you.
You're just full of questions, aren't you?
Ha!
Where did you get that?
It was found in a vent at the museum. Perhaps the very last thing I expected to find.
Yes. Well, thank you. I knew I had lost it somewhere.
A clearly valuable ring has just been returned to Madame, and she acts as though it means nothing to her.
And I would not describe throwing a ring at one's husband resulting in it being stuck in a vent as a case of losing it.
It is clear Madame Hélène felt no sickness at the gala, rather anger. In a moment of rage, she threw her ring at her husband before exiting the museum. and having seen the damage that she has caused in her own dressing room, one can conclude that it was the state of her marriage that allowed her emotions to get the better of her and act so rashly.
You have been most helpful.
The detective inspector will now be able to see as plain as day that Mademoiselle Court Smythe is the guilty party. Now to find him.
With the other remaining guests' movements all accounted for, she was the only one capable of making haste with the painting.
All right.
Ah, Detective, you're here.
Look and you shall find. How may I be of assistance?
Oh, well, I've had the photographs from the Garda developed.
That's good thinking, Miss Farquhar.
Oui, very kind, mademoiselle. There is nothing left for us to do but to take our findings to Detective Inspector Hardwick.
Do you think he'll listen?
It is his duty as a high-ranking officer of the law. We shall not be ignored. We have done all but arrest Mademoiselle Court Smythe for him. If it is the accolade that he desires, he may have it.
I was thinking that while you were speaking with Miss Court Smythe, I could try and find Mr. Christensen at their home.
It would certainly be more efficient. An excellent idea.
Him, with a funny accent. He was here earlier asking the same questions. All I want is a bit of peace.
I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
Monsieur Hastings, your assistance is required immediately.
Good Lord, Poirot, that's a lot of smoke.
And now you are up to speed with the situation. I have evaluated the position we find.
If you're going to use the fire extinguisher, now would be the time.
Très bien.
That's it. One more should do it.
Detective Inspector, it is imperative we search the crime scene as soon as possible.
You mean my crime scene?
If I may, I can count on one hand how many crime scenes I have seen in my life, and although they are somewhere I don't wish to spend too much time, as the representative of Lloyd's of London Bank, it is my responsibility to handle all matters regarding the now stolen painting.
A weak attempt, but I've got more on my plate than dealing with some paper pusher getting his knickers in a twist. You've got until I return to do whatever it is you need to do. And if I find one thing out of place...
You may question my authority in this case, but I will not have my professionalism questioned.
Whatever you say.
Huh. Hmm. Huh. Huh. Mm-hmm. Aha. Huh. Ah. Ah. Oh. Aha. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Oh.
I should consider this further. Where is the sense in that? Come, my little grey cells. We must think logically. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Monsieur Hastings, your assistance is required.
Of course. What do you need? It wasn't an accident. It was set on purpose, using turpentine to douse any evidence of them being there, and the forgery.
An almost perfect execution, had we not arrived in time before the evidence had burned away.
But why try and get rid of the necklace?
Spoken like a true detective.
What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene.
Huh. Hmm. Ah.
What do you need? What can I...
Let us get...
Aha.
Oh shit, I didn't even see her body.
Huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She was already dead.
Ah.
Oh.
Aha.
From analyzing the victim's body, I can conclude that the cause of death was not dead by the flames.
Not by the flames. Then what?
That is what we are yet to determine.
Hmm. Huh. Oh.
Come now. Think on what has already been learned. Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps... Voila.
What do you need? What can I do for you?
From analyzing the victim's body, I can conclude that the cause of death was not dead by the flames.
Not by the flames? Then what?
That is what we are yet to determine.
What can I do for you? That would never have even occurred to me. I've got a lot to learn. What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene.
Aha. Huh. Mm-hmm.
Didn't you speak with her neighbor before? Might she be able to help?
Is it that copper again? What do you want?
I was hoping to ask you some questions regarding the fire. May I ask your name?
You aren't coming in. You can get that into your head now. Mrs. Colsham. Camilla Colsham.
Merci, Madame Colsham.
She hardly had any visitors, but yesterday it was like she had a sign up offering out free ale.
If you would be so kind as to talk us through the events as you remember them.
Well, I saw her leaving with a couple of paintings under her arm. You've seen her work? Not really my cup of tea. Then there was that posh-looking chap. I heard him before I saw him. Like an elephant on those stairs. Next came the professional-looking fella. He's got some money in those pockets, that's for sure. I saw him leaving with a painting, too. Oh, and the argument with another man? I couldn't hear what it was all about, but he had a set of lungs on him.
You are doing a wonderful job, Madame Colcham.
You can keep the patronizing tone to yourself. She must have turned her radio up to disguise what they were saying, but I tell you this, I'd rather have listened to them than that racket. It wasn't long before he was storming down the stairs. I don't think he'd heard the expression light-footed before.
Would you be able to remember any other details of the gentleman?
Through this people, you can barely tell who's man and woman. I didn't hear her leave, but when I heard that door downstairs slam, I knew it was her. I opened my door and gave her what for. And you know what she did? She waved me off, bottle of bubbles in hand, ranting about being dry. She looked 2 sheets to the wind, if you ask me. Only after did she turn the radio down. I wasn't going to waste the peace and quiet, and I got ready for bed. I was getting right into the exciting bit of my book. Perkins' first one, you know. I do like Perkins. Well, that's when I first smelt the smoke coming from the hall. And then you lot showed up.
Merci, Madame. You have been most accommodating.
Oh, and I found this in the garden. It's obviously hers. I was going to put it through her letterbox, but, well, you know.
The cork from a champagne bottle. It would not be a giant leap to assume this came from Mademoiselle Courtsmythe's apartment. A smell lingers on the cork. Bitter almonds.
Merci, Madame Colcham.
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse. Logical thinking shall always prevail.
What do you need? Almonds? I've never had champagne that tasted of almonds.
One would hope not. Mademoiselle's lips may hold the missing clue we require.
What can I do for you? Mr. Poirot, you are a genius. What can I do for you? That would never have even occurred to me. I've got a lot to learn. What can I do for you?
Let us get back to the scene.
Is there something I am not seeing? The evidence suggests something else. I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the truth. What a revelation! The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. This will not get me any closer to my goal. Things are beginning to become clearer. Something just does not feel right.
What do you need? I don't know if I'm cut out for this.
Take your time. Consider what we have seen and learnt of Mademoiselle Court-Smythe's time here yesterday.
Okay, firstly, we know that she had a number of visitors and an argument with one of them. Among these visitors, one left with a painting, perhaps another forgery.
Très bien.
Irene wasn't drinking alone, and whoever she was drinking with likely poisoned her. The killer used a syringe to inject a liquid form of the poison through the cork and into the bottle.
Potassium cyanide. Traces of the compound can be found in nature, but dangerous levels, such as those present, can be detected by its notable almond smell.
And she fell victim shortly after in her chair. Of course, the painting. Irene had made forgeries of the Penitent Magdalene painting and was likely selling them for a pretty penny, I might add. What are you going to tell him?
The truth. He may hope for a simple and somewhat convenient version of events, but he cannot ignore the facts that we shall present.
My crime scene still intact?
Of course, Detective Inspector. There is something that...
There's nothing more to say.
Pardon, Detective Inspector. The truth is that Mademoiselle Irene Court-Smythe was murdered.
Right you are. I'll be sure to make a note.
But you won't.
Excuse me? Are you forgetting who you're talking to?
He is well aware of your authority and your capability of coming to the same conclusion. We only wish to inform you of our findings.
Well, my men have been in, as have I, and I've concluded that the Mademoiselle, as you so elegantly called her, made off with the painting and decided to have a few drinks to celebrate. She passed out drunk in the chair, candle still lit, and the place went up like a match.
Detective Inspector, s'il vous plaît. It is really not that simple.
Who are you calling simple?
He's not calling you simple, he's saying that isn't how it happened. How can you ignore the bottle of champagne that had been tampered with? The smell of poison on the cork.
You're both experts in poison now, are you?
I do not wish to stand here and argue credentials. Mademoiselle Court Smythe was killed, not by the fire that burned through her home, but at the hands of another. Her drink, laced with potassium cyanide.
Quite the imagination you two have.
Look, we can show.
No. We shall leave the detective inspector to discover the truth for himself. Detective, adieu. Monsieur Hastings, you must learn which battles are worth the fight. Besides, we have no time to stand squabbling with him. We have a murder to solve.
Alright guys, that is a wrap on Chapter 4. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe, all of that fun shit. And I will catch you guys in the next chapter. Later. She dead. D-E-D.